lives. Plus, a Grinch struck in Fresno County, but luckily, thanks to law enforcement, the stolen items were recovered. The story of how they were found during another unrelated arrest. That's coming up next. Chris?
A lot of stories about your money and your health in our lineup today. We have some brand new information about why so many Americans forego life-saving weight loss surgery, some really interesting findings. Also, we're checking out a pilot project that's supposed to help people from feeling lonely. We know that is a huge issue as we all get older. And have you ever thought about getting a side hustle? Now, some of the most popular ways to make some extra cash from home and how much money you can actually make.
Firefighters are constantly training, and for those responding to the aftermath of the Camp Fire, they've had special search and rescue training. To get a look at what it takes, 23 ABC's Amanda Mason went behind the scenes of a large-scale disaster training session with the Kern County Fire Department.
I'm at the Olive Drive Fire Training Facility where the Kern County Fire Department search and rescue responders are training for a large-scale disaster. And in order to simulate exactly how hard it is to find people after a disaster, they're using 24 eggs like this one to symbolize the victims that they'll be saving.
This is not your ordinary training day. Every year, the Kern County Fire Department designs specialized large-scale disaster search and rescue drills.
Today is a simulated earthquake in the Tehachapi area.
These guys train a lot all of the time for the what if. It's not something that's going to happen every day, but when that large disaster does happen, these guys are ready and prepared, and all this training is going to kick into place for us.
Firefighters from 7 different stations around Kern County joined in to learn the 3 steps for setting up a search and rescue mission like those underway in Paradise following the destructive Camp Fire. The first phase, recon. Evaluate the area's condition and what resources are needed and then deploy them to evacuate victims.
One of our main purposes in the fire department is bringing order to chaos.
The teams are then assembled to respond to different simulated disaster areas on the grid, known as Phase 2 or Primary, where they clear and mark each area while rescuing as many people as possible.
If we had a very large scale, there's going to be a lot of people injured, and there's going to be a lot of people that are trapped.
Their mission, to save as many people as fast as possible.
Unfortunately, some people might be trapped in an area that is going to take a long time, a couple hours to get them out. And so to deploy all of my resources to that individual might hinder getting 50 people out of an auditorium or something else where I can save more people.
The third phase is called secondary, where they extract people who are trapped. Today, they are practicing the first and second phase. When they first arrive to a structure, they walk around the entire building, spotting possible hazards and entry points.
Single-story structure, several entry points, multiple hazards throughout, possible hazmat. Getting ready to send in 2 search teams.
We have a search team that's attached to a task force. We've been assigned to a simulated grocery store. We've been advised there may be victims inside, live or dead. We're going to go in and do what we call a primary search.
As they enter the building, they go room by room, securing each area. Once the building is cleared, they mark the building.
In order for responders to manage their resources, they use several different markings just like this one. Well, let's say they found a victim inside. They mark it with a V.
But there are several marking combinations used to let the team know who and what is inside.
The importance of the marking system is not only to locate the victim, but to systematically go in and mark where our rescuers are so that we don't waste time researching buildings and searching areas that we've already done.
Each firefighter has gone through 5 months of specialized rescue training for disaster situations. And once they complete all their live drills, they're certified as part of the rescue operations.
We're setting up a team so that we can focus on providing the rescue and the operational need for the Kern County citizens first and foremost.
This is just one component of the Kern County Fire Department training sessions. They're going to continue training throughout the entire year to prepare for any large-scale disasters. In Bakersfield, Amanda Mason, 23 ABC.
Meanwhile, some good news for a holiday attraction to the north of us in Fresno County. Fresno detectives able to find stolen decorations from Christmas Tree Lane while out on another arrest. 2 pieces of stolen decor were recovered this morning in central Fresno as detectives were chasing down wanted felon 34-year-old Christopher Cortesian of Fresno. As they retrace their steps looking for weapons, he may have been trying to get rid of those items. They spotted a Hermie and Rudolph in the back of an abandoned home. The two pieces of decor were stolen from a lawn display on Christmas Tree Lane over the weekend. Hermie's hand, however, was taped to make an offensive gesture. Fresno County Sheriff's deputies said that it's unknown who's responsible for the prank, but that detectives collected the decorations and arranged for them to be returned to their owner. At this time, the suspect is not facing any charges of petty theft because there's no evidence to show he was directly responsible for stealing Hermie and Rudolph. Chris?
It may seem like many people are turning to surgery to lose weight, but a new report out today says not so. The Now's Andy Taylor has reasons why so many people aren't doing it, even though they should.
Despite weight loss surgery being safe and effective, a new study out by JAMA says only a fraction, less than 0.5% of patients who qualify actually get the procedure. Why? Because we are super judgmental. The study found most of us think weight loss surgery is for cosmetic reasons or is just taking the easy way out. Well, I spoke with Dr. Michael Snyder, a bariatric surgeon with Rose Medical Center, and he says this is not the easy way out. Weight loss surgery is a matter of life or death. Dr. Snyder says his patients have tried and failed diets and exercise nearly 99% of the time. And let's face it, society shames people who make jokes about race, sexuality, or gender. But when you see this on TV...
No, it's not that. I just don't want to be stuck here all night with your fat sister. Hey.
Monica, why don't you finish off these pies? I don't have any more room in the fridge.
We all laugh. And obesity is a disease, and more often than not, Dr. Snyder says, we treat it like it's a choice. After seeing the JAMA study, Dr. Snyder says it's apparent more people need to be educated on weight loss surgery. Patients have to prepare 3 to 6 months in advance. After surgery, well, that's when the real work begins. They have to work with dietitians, psychologists, and doctors for years and years to stay on track. So by educating ourselves on topics like this, Dr. Snyder says it helps us become less judgmental and more understanding. For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
Annie, thank you. We do have a lot more to talk about in our lineup. Have you ever thought about getting a side hustle? We're taking a look at some of the most popular ways to make some extra cash. You're watching The Now. Let's start the news feed with the South getting some shakes today. A 4.4 earthquake hitting near the Tennessee-Georgia border. There were no reports of any serious damage. Well, we do know these days people go to great lengths for just that perfect selfie, but there is no way that you can outdo this one because the Mars rover took its first selfie, posted it on Twitter. NASA says it used a robot arm to take that shot. No LOL here because California's public utilities considering adding a tax for texting. Yeah, it would kind of just be a flat fee at the bottom of the bill. This all just in the beginning stages of an idea, but the money would help get low-income people's cell phones. Well, car repairs, we know those can get really expensive. But we have a new list that you need to see if you're thinking about getting a new ride because these are the brands with the lowest average repair costs. Mazda #1, the average repair about $280. Now it's followed by Kia and Dodge. With those, you'll pay a little more than $300. CarMD came up with these rankings by checking out millions of cars after their check engine light came on. Well, more people are making money at home than ever before. And according to data from Pinterest, stay-at-home side hustles have surged. The Now's Nicole Val talking to a man who's making a side hustle work for him.
This isn't just any old website. This is how Atlanta resident Jason Butler makes extra cash.
Selling things from between like $100 a month to currently making over $500 per month selling things online.
3 years ago, Butler, a full-time financial aid advisor at a university, decided he needed to generate more income. So he opened his own eBay store.
Let's see, I'm selling multiple items online such as tennis shoes, basketball jerseys, bobbleheads, coffee mugs. I actually get those items from yard sales or I purchased them from thrift stores.
He heard about selling things on eBay from reading blogs, then decided to give it a shot.
I had to figure out what I knew. I know a lot about sports. So one of my first big flips was selling a Dwayne Wade Miami Heat jersey. I found the jersey in the Salvation Army for $3 and it sold literally 2 days later for $45. Since then, I was hooked.
Butler's budding side business has grown. Now he's on track to make more money.
Things continue to go how it will be. I'll be at 1,000 within 2 to 3 months.
According to data collected by Pinterest, more people than ever before are adding to their income by having an at-home side gig. The most popular, public notary, where people report earning up to $2,000 a month overseeing mortgage signatures. Renting out your car on sites like Turo and Getaround can also earn you hundreds in extra dough. Blogging, taking surveys online, even dog sitting through services like Rover can keep that side cash coming in.
You'll never know what'll happen unless you try. Some people are nervous to sell items. I literally can sell almost anything.
For Butler, this side hustle is working for him, and he says it could work for anyone.
If they're interested in selling items online, they should just go on and they should start because it's one of the easiest side hustles out there.
For the Now, I'm Nicole Vowell reporting.
Very cool, Nicole. Thanks. During the holidays, the CHP is out in full force, not just keeping our roads safe, but also making sure every child has the best Christmas possible. The Chips for Kids toy drive is put together by local CHP officers who collect new unwrapped toys and other items for infants, tots, and teens. The drive is accepting more than toys. They're also taking blankets, bikes, clothes, shoes, athletic gear, and more. If you'd like to help out, there's still time. You can drop off items at all local Walgreens stores, Motor City in the Auto Mall, the CHP headquarters, the United Way, and of course right here at our 23 ABC news station. The toy drive continues until December 17th and the countdown is on. It's starting to feel like Christmas and winter is near.
It really is. That is just over a week away. Next Friday is the first official day of winter. But today we had temperatures that were above seasonal. So 59 was our high today. Normal for this time of year, 57. And you can expect these warming temperatures actually through the rest of the work week as well as into the weekend. So right now Tehachapi is actually up 7 degrees from what they were feeling this time yesterday. And we're experiencing dry conditions across the county starting now, continuing through at least Friday. Then we're going to be seeing some clouds actually rolling into the county. But right now, mostly clear skies as well as very calm winds. So unfortunately, that is the recipe for fog. So We do have the chance to see some nighttime as well as early morning fog. That would be here in the valley starting on Thursday. So really starting tonight into Thursday morning. We could be seeing that again on Friday. So if you do see the fog, make sure that you are driving slow and using your headlights. Now, as for air quality, well, it's actually going to be the exact same as what we were feeling today. So in the moderate range with an AQI of 68, and there's no burning unless with a registered device. So we saw those clear sunny skies today. We had a few days of the gloomy skies, but sunshine was out today, and that is going to be the chance again tomorrow. Again, we could be seeing that fog chance in the early morning hours, but temperatures are going to be well above seasonal with a high of 63 degrees, then jumping up to 65 by Friday, and going to be hanging out in the upper 60s through at least Sunday. And then we see the clouds pushing in because we are tracking a system that will be making its way toward the county on Monday, continuing into Tuesday. That's bringing some rain chances for us here in the valley, and we could be seeing some snow up in the mountains, but again, that is going to be Monday continuing into Tuesday. And now Bakersfield will be right back.
A lot of older people trying to be proactive with their health are running into a new problem. The new, more effective vaccine against shingles is in short supply.
Terry Bradshaw? What a surprise. You know what else is a surprise? Shingles.
Yeah, you've probably seen ads for the drug on TV. 1 in 3 people will get shingles, according to the CDC. The new shot is almost 100% effective, and it's permanent protection, and that's why it is in such high demand. Now, the old shot, only about half as effective, and it only lasts about 8 to 13 years. And because of that, only people 60 and older were getting it. But since the new vaccine is permanent, the recommended age is 50 and older. So until now, that 50 to 60 group wasn't even getting vaccinated. But a doctor that we talked to said you don't need to stress about waiting.
I would say for those that are 50 to 60 that are anxious about getting the vaccine, remember, it is a common infection, but the odds that you're going to develop shingles as an individual before this shortage is ended is much smaller than the risk you're taking.
Now, even with insurance and Medicare, the new vaccine is between $140 and $200 per shot. All right, when you think of Las Vegas, probably the bright glow of those neon signs comes to mind. And hotels on the Strip, though, they have been slowly but surely turning to cheaper LED lights for the signs. The Now's Chris Welch has the people trying to keep the neon glowing.
It's this big, bright, colorful thing.
Defined by a warm glow.
I mean, neon is beautiful.
And that ever so faint humming sound.
In the clear glass tubes especially, sometimes you can see little kind of like weird eccentricities going on.
The neon sign has been a staple for almost a century.
By the 30s, it's exploded. It's everywhere.
But a few years ago, neon was moving out of the picture as cheaper LED lights took over, especially for corporate signs like these. Las Vegas even has its own museum devoted to the iconic neon of its heyday. It was a dying business. Or so it seemed.
I wouldn't believe everything you read.
Jeff Friedman with neon makers Let There Be Neon says smaller scale businesses want to craft a unique sign that stands out and might even be Instagram worthy.
I mean, for us, we've never made more neon, and we still can't make it fast enough. I think because there's a fresh appreciation of artisanal goods, and people with this instant gratification are appreciating slow process of handmade items, and neon is clearly one of those.
Slow indeed.
I'm going to make a little adjustment here.
The process can take days to craft just one neon sign.
Oh, when you start out, you get burned and cut every day.
Some of these are older than others, and you can kind of tell a little bit from looking at them.
Thomas Rinaldi, a historian who's cataloged some of New York's most iconic signs, says the abundance of new neon is real.
People have really kind of seized, maybe even more than ever in the last few years, on the kind of unique aesthetic of these exposed to neon signs, and it's become enormously desirable, particularly in kind of for restaurants and retail environments.
But he acknowledges that in terms of glass blowers still working in neon today, there are fewer.
My God, that letter E has got to be one of my favorite.
But in terms of people who appreciate the craft,
A is kind of a classic. You see a lot of A's like that.
There may be more than ever.
That E is like, I'm all about that E.
Reporting in New York, I'm Chris Welch.
All right, Chris, thank you. And next in our lineup, we are checking out a pilot project that is supposed to help people from getting lonely. We know that is a big problem as we get older. That's next. As baby boomers age and start losing loved ones, loneliness can take its toll. The issue is becoming such a concern, some national organizations are stepping in. The Now's Corey Rangel with a look at what's being done to help lift the spirit of seniors.
This was the one thing I said when I retire, I want to do Meals on Wheels.
Donna Royce has been volunteering for Meals on Wheels for 6 years. She not only brings seniors a free meal, she can also be the only person they really interact with for weeks at a time.
One of the things that really surprised me when I first started this was how many seniors live alone.
Loneliness can have a big impact on their health. Research shows that lacking social connections can be as harmful to someone's health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
It's a much bigger problem, I think, than people realize.
Mary Lee Anderson works for Senior Services of Alexandria, a nonprofit in Virginia that helps deliver food for Meals on Wheels. Mary Lee is helping with a new pilot project that lets volunteers delivering meals use a cell phone app to report any changes in behaviors or concerns volunteers notice while visiting with a senior.
It lets our volunteers, if they notice a problem, report it right on their phones. That information is sent back to us at the office, and we can then contact the individual who's responsible, their family member or their city social worker if they don't have a close family member.
The pilot program is currently being tested in 10 cities across the country and is expected to expand to another 50 cities early next year.
Giving them the ability to report that real time, just with the click of a button, really we think was going to make a huge difference to these older adults.
Somebody to let them know that there's someone out there that cares.
For The Now, I'm Corey Rangel.
All right, Corey, thank you. We do know just how big of an issue bullying is. And tomorrow on The Now, we're getting an update on this uniquely designed lunchroom table. It's supposed to help prevent kids from feeling left out. We're going to go to the school where it was recently installed to see how it's working.
That looks cool. Coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11, making way for Measure In, the newly passed measure becoming official during tonight's City Council meeting. What this means for your tax dollars and the community. We have that story and much more coming up tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. In the meantime, we know people are out riding right now, checking out the holiday lights. It's a little chilly out.
It is a little bit chilly, but clear skies, and that's going to be continuing as well as we head into your Thursday. So 51 degrees right now here in Bakersfield, already down to 39 in Fraser Park and 37 in Tehachapi. But we are tracking high pressure that will be dominating over the region overnight, continuing through Thursday, even into the early morning hours on Friday. So that means clear skies, warming temperatures, and dry conditions. So we can see a high of 63 degrees tomorrow, which is well above seasonal normal for this time of year, actually at 57. So we are going to be above that on Thursday and Friday, continuing into the weekend as well. And then winter, I was going to say fall, excuse me. Winter is now just over a week away.
It feels like it should have already been here, so that's okay. I'm glad it's finally showing up. That's going to do it for us here tonight on The Now Bakersfield. We'll see you back here tonight for 23 ABC News at 11. Good night.